Hey everybody, it's your girl Nefarious, and today we are going to sew the Luna messenger bag. It is super quick, super easy. I show you how to do just a very basic version. It's clean, it's easy, and it's super moldable to whatever you are looking to do. You could add card slots, slip pockets, zipper pockets, whatever your little heart desires, you can add it. However, for this video, I am showing you just basic construction. 2 panels on the inside, a gusset, 2 panels on the outside, a gusset, and a flap with a secret pocket. Keeping it super easy and super simple. When this bag is done, it's about 13 inches wide, about 9 inches tall, and about 3 inches in diameter. It's, like I said, it's a very quick and easy bag, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go on and jump right on in. All right, general tools that I am going to be using include my awl, some double-sided tape. I've got multiple sizes here. I've got 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2 inch. I've got marking tools. I've got various ones. I've got a pair of snips. I've got an X-Acto knife. I've got a turning tool. Got my lighter, just in case. A ruler. This is from More Me Know. I've got my rivet guide. Got my hole punch. And I've got my clips, just in case. I kind of was like, I'm missing something here. These are my general tools that I'll be using throughout my video. The Luna, you need to have one full magnet set with the washers. So I have the male and female in here completely like together. That'll be fun to take apart later. And then you need 2 1-inch D-rings. Now this is a relatively quick sew, but if you wanted to add a zipper pocket or other additional things, I mean, you would need additional hardware. But since I'm showing you just the super basic Luna version, this is all we will need as far as hardware for this bag. Piece-wise, you will need 2 D-ring connectors. Just in case these are not included on the panel, I have asked Alex to update it. These do measure 2 by 4.5. And you will need 2 of those. The Luna is also one of the earlier sew-alongs that K&A had. So it does not come with a traditional waterproof canvas lining or any lining at all. So what you actually have to do is you will have to cut your lining out yourself. So that can be fun. You get to pick your own lining. So to make this bag, you will need your exterior gusset and lining of your choice to match. You will then also need to have a back panel with a lining of your choice, a front panel with lining of your choice, and then you will also have a these are 2 vinyl pieces, but you'll have a flap and a flap lining. And again, this is for the Luna. You are welcome to use whatever kind of stabilizer you would like, especially on the lining of your preference. If you use a waterproof canvas, you don't really probably need anything, but if you're using like a woven or even like a cotton canvas even, I did add a little bit of SF101 just to give it a little bit of stiffness for like the exterior of the bag. I'm not adding anything today, but you are totally welcome to add maybe a little bit of Decorative Light or some Profuse Stiff if you really want that messenger bag to be nice and just stiff. I would recommend having a couple pieces, like small pieces, set to the side for when you do your magnet, as well as a couple pieces of like duct tape to cover the back of it once we attach that. And then for the D-rings, I won't be using it for this video, but on the back using like 1/4 inch by 3 inch piece of Decorative to go down the center just to give it a little bit more girth. And when I say Decavilla, it could also be Profusive. Whatever your heavy or medium weight stabilizer of choice is, that's what I would use here. So I just wanted to make sure I touch base on that before I go too much further. Just to go ahead and get started for your D-rings, you do want to draw, well, obviously, if you're using stabilizer, stabilize it. And then you're going to draw a line down the center. And you will use some double-sided tape. I'm using my 1/2 inch today. And you're going to put it right down that line. Pull that paper off. And you're going to take your edges and meet up at that center line. So we can set this aside before we go to the machine. So I will set those right there. Now let's look at our other pieces here. So right off the bat, once you get everything stabilized with whatever you want to stabilize with, this is just what I like to do. This is a drop-in lining bag. So just to like help myself out later, I did go through and I drew a line about 1/2 inch down on all of my pieces here. And then I also did the same thing on the gusset ends, because we will fold it down at that 1/2 inch mark, like so. I mean, if you wanted to draw an inch line, that's fine too, and then just meet at that line. It's whatever you want to do. But this is just what I wanted to do to make it easy for myself, so I knew what I was trying to hit. So do that to all of those pieces. And then you're going to want your front panel. And then you're going to want your female magnet. I can get it off here. See, I said this was going to be fun later. So we need to go ahead and attach our our female end. So what I did is on the back is I measured up from the bottom 3.75. I don't remember if I've said it, but I'll say it again. Find your centers on all of your pieces, top and bottom. That way it makes it easier for you to just do this flawlessly. So on the back, I measured up 3.75, and what I'll do is I'll place my washer here, and then I'll use my ink pen to place those lines, and then I will find my seam ripper, and I will gently, because this is vinyl, cut those lines out. I will put my magnet in. Oh, that's going to be fun. And this is where I'm saying that if you had like some additional stabilizer, you could use it here. I thought I had some. Hold on. So I have some stabilizer here. I just used the washer to create those two lines, and then I'll slip that too. Just be careful. The number of times I have had to start this step specifically over is, I don't even want to know. It's a lot. And then I keep some tape here so it doesn't, so that these don't rub through the lining. Just like that. And that is ready to go. Looks nice. Now I want my flap lining. Again, find your centers here and use your ruler to measure up about 1 3/4 inches from the bottom edge at the center. So if you can ignore my shedding, it's shedding season here. It's going to be 1 3/4. I think I said 1 3/4. It's 1 1/2. I lied. 1 1/2. You're going to measure up 1 1/2, make a mark, and then just like you did before, you'll use the washer, make your slits. Go ahead, do the same thing on your stabilizer if you're using it. Cut it out. And then we can slide our magnet on. See if I can do this without actually looking at it. Oh, look, I can. Add my stabilizer, add my washer, and press. Ooh. Press, and some tape. All right, pretty cool, right? Now, with the flap lining facing up, you're going to take your flap and put it face down, so right sides together. Grab your clippies. Not entirely sure where all my clippies went. Oh, they're right there, staring at me in the face. And you're going to clip all the way around. If you were going to use a medium stiff-ish stabilizer, this is definitely the one I would use it at. I won't be using it, as you can see, but it's a little longer. We can fix that later. So this is I'm going to set this to the side until I'm ready to go to the machine, but we will sew this at 1/4 inch all the way around. And then I will go back and I'll do a second set of stitching all the way around. And then I will pinker it so that I can turn it out. Now this is vinyl. So I will heat this up to make it easier to turn inside out or right side out. So this one's ready to go. So I'll set this to the side. Then, so the inside is a blank canvas. I am not doing any card slots or zipper pockets or slip pockets, but you could totally do that here. This is like blank canvas. Go for it. I'm doing super basic as it gets. So I'm just going to go ahead and construct this after I cut off my little bit of excess stabilizer there. Okay. And what you want to do is I'm going to match up my center point that I cut out here and here. Add a couple clips. Then I'm going to flip this back up toward you. Then I'm going to match this end to that end. Match this end to this end. And this way I can make sure it sews right. I'm going to go ahead and place a couple extra clips here at the top. And then I'm going to go around and clip it in place. Now, when I get to this curve, I may add a couple snips just so I can make sure it's kosher. I'm taking this to the sewing machine. I'm taking that to the sewing machine. And I am taking our D-rings to the sewing machine. So let's head on over and get this going. I'm starting with the D-rings. I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides for both D-rings. We can set these to the side for right now. For the inside lining, we're going to start at a 1/4 inch seam allowance and then increase to a 3/8. Go around. You can go as high as a 1/2 inch down here if you really wanted to, and then go back up, coming back around, and then increasing your seam allowance. I'm sorry, decreasing your seam allowance back to a 1/4 inch. So 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 3/8, 1/4. You can set that to the side. All right. You want to make sure that this is laying as flat as you can get it. I know with the magnet bit in there, that's going to be a little difficult, but I have all the faith in you. We're going to go around at a 1/4 inch. Then we're going to go over just a tiny bit and go around again at like, I don't even know, like a scant 1/4. From here, you want to pinker your curves, and then you want to heat this up and turn it right side out, and then kind of give it a really good like press down, and then I'll meet you back at the table. Sorry, I kind of got a little mess going on here. So I like to give this a really nice press. So here is where we're going to want to get the back panel, and if you haven't already done so, I wanted to show it on the video. Go ahead and line these up. So if you want to go ahead and give that a quick trim, if you've got any kind of overhang like that, I do, so I'm going to give that a quick trim. And then I'm going to line my center up on my back panel. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a couple marks. One more clip. Thank you. All right. Now, from the top of these corners here, so make sure you can see it, of this right here, these two corners, okay, we want to measure up 1/2 inch. So I've got my corner here lined up with my grid. I'm going to measure up 1/2 inch, and I'm going to make just a small mark there. I'm going to do the same thing over here, just a small mark at the 1/2 inch mark. And then I'm going to have to eyeball it a little bit here. From the top, I'm going to measure down 3/4 inch. I'm going to make a mark there. Is that 3/4? Try it again. 3/4 inch. Yeah, close enough. And then over here, 3/4 inch. But for right now, the most important mark that we want is this one right here, because that's where we are going to top stitch. So I'm going to put my clips right here, and what's going to happen is we are going to put our needle here, top stitch all the way around, and stop here. And then we will bring this back to the table. So we'll set this to the side. That can come off. Come off, come off, come off. Thank you. That can go away. Then we can go ahead and attach our other side of our lining. Your D-rings. So what we want to do is, after we have stitched this together, we want to flip it over, and then we want to mark the center line here. Or I don't know why I did that. I could just fold this in half. And do the same thing over here. Okay, and then what you are going to do is get your double-sided tape. And I'm going to pull this off, line this up, thread this on, line that up, just like that. Your ruler. From here, you're going to make a mark 3/4 of an inch down. And then you're going to make another one at 1 1/4. That's not right. At 1 3/4, you're going to make another mark. So 3/4 and 1 3/4, you're going to make marks. You're going to do that for both of them. Let's see if you can see that. All right. And then we need to get our gusset. And then I need more tape. Where to put it? There we go. I'm putting more double-sided tape on this, and I'm going to take this off. Oh, snap. You want to find the center here. And then so we'll attach this at 1 1/2 inches down. Center this up. Perfect. And then repeat on the other side. All right, so we'll take this to the machine as well as the flap and the lining. So let's go ahead and get this done. I'm going to go ahead and attach my D-rings first. I'm going to stay within my lines here and make this box. Now, alternatively, you could also add a rivet. Additionally, one more thing, just to throw another weirdness in you. If you don't like all these lines, which some people don't, you could make your D-rings without the top stitch down. Just measure them as we did before, fold them in half, make that mark in center. So we don't, instead of top stitching this down right away, just go ahead and fold it down in the center and attach it to the gusset, and then use this box as your stitch down. You won't have these top stitch marks. It's another alternative method. It's either way you want to do it. Ready to go back to the table. I'm going to sew with this side down on the bench, and I'm going to start at 1/4, move to 3/8, go to 1/2 inch at the bottom, back to 3/8 and 1/4, just like we did on the other side. I'm going to set this back on the table. I'm going to grab my clipboard real quick because it's getting a little clippy here. Now, I am starting at the mark I've made. I'm going to top stitch at 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and I'm going to stop here. Now, you can do a couple things. You can leave your threads long, tie them on the underside, or you can backstitch. Totally up to you. I will be backstitching. Excuse me. All right, I'm going back to the table. On the lining, what I'm going to do is I am going to give it a quick trim. Nothing too dramatic, just to make it easier later. Maybe. Do the same thing on the other side. And again over here. Clean that up. All right. This can, at the moment, be set to the side. I want my back flap, and then I want my front flap. I'm going to reline my center marks with the back here. And I am going to clip it down. I wiped off my markings that I made, so I will need to remake those. Which is fine. It was 3/4 of an inch down from here, just in case you guys don't remember. So this is ready to go back to the machine. What we are going to do is I'm going to backstitch, forward, back. I'm going to go down at 1/8 of an inch all the way around, all the way back, all the way up, backstitch real good. Then I'm going to go across, back, forward. Then I'm going to go down. At this point, it's probably closer to 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to go all the way down here to the bottom, where I'm going to run at the 1/8 inch again at the bottom. And you can't even see where I'm pointing. So back, forward, 1/4 of an inch all the way down, 1/8 inch across the bottom again, 1/4 inch at the top where I meet where I started, back, forward, and done. This will give us a secret pocket right here. But so that can go to the machine. On the front panel here, I am going to line up my center marks. I'll add a couple clips for stability here. And then, just like we did on the lining, I'm going to match up my top side, and just to make sure I sew straight, I'm going to do that and repeat over here. Another one here and here. Then what we're going to do is you're going to clip all the way down. Cool. So we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to sew it all the way around at a 1/4 inch stitch. Now you are totally welcome to go and do a second set of stitching around this edge. I won't do that today, but you can totally do that just like you did for the flap. Panel first, like I said, at the table, we're going to do a 1/4 inch all the way around. Back stitching really good at the beginning. Coming right back to it. I'm going to place my needle right here. I'm going to stitch this at 1/8 of an inch. Remember what I said at the table. I'm going to back, forward right here at the beginning. So needle down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's good and secure right off the bat. Now I can go ahead and I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch all the way down. Then I'm going to pivot. I'm going to go forward 1, back 1, forward 1. Well, let's go back 1 more, and then forward 1 more. Then I'm going to rotate the whole thing. Now at this point, this should give you a 1/4 inch stitch to work with. So I'm going. You're going to pivot, and guess what? You're going to go forward 1, back 1, forward. Whoops, nope. Forward 1, back 1, forward 1. And I'll go back 1 more just for giggles. And then cut it. So what that does is that gives you some extra security here for your secret pocket. Now what I'm going to do, or attempt to do anyway, I don't know if this is going to work. I was thinking it would, it won't. I'm going to get this out of the way. Because what I want to do is I want to get to these right here. And just like we did before, we are going to attach this to this panel. And this is where doing that really good extra stitching comes in handy, because you're going to have to push it out of the way. Really want you to pay attention to is your flap. You want to really be able to pull that out of the way so you don't sew it into your seam allowance. So be very mindful that you're doing a 1/4 inch, and make sure you're giving this a good get out of the way, because you don't want to sew it to the bag. So like I said, 1/4 inch seam allowance. All the way around. Woohoo! Guys, we are almost there. Now, what do I want to do? Let's do it here. Yeah, we'll do it here. What I like to do is, since we've gone ahead and we've drawn these lines, I like to use double-sided tape to help me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this tape right along that edge, all the way around. Then once you do that, you're going to pull the tape off, and you're going to pull the edge to meet that line. So fun fact, don't be like Nefarious. You really need to turn this bag right side out if you're going to drop your lining in. So yeah, and the easiest way to do that is to heat it up. So if you've already done this, already used the tape, so what I did is I applied some clips to kind of help hold that fold over in place. And then I'm going to use some heat to flip this inside out, or right side out, so we can do our drop-in lining and finish this bag up. So I had to fix the external part of the bag. I turned it out and I set it to the side. And my son decided to add some artwork to it. So I have covered it up. But I have to give him some credit. He did it on both sides of the flap. So please forgive the way the bag's gonna look, guys. But let's finish the bag. I mean, I did my best, guys. I tried to cover it up. So we're at this point. We're going to add our lining. Just drop it. You're going to match your seams up. Those are going to be your landmarks. All right. Now here you can leave your threads long so that you can tie them off here, or you can pull them between the layers and tie them off. You can backstitch. It's up to you. I am going to leave my threads long, I think, on this one. I'm going to pull my flap out of the way. So this is what she looks like, all top stitch. That's what she looks like, all put together. So there you go. That's the Luna. I hope you have enjoyed sewing the Luna bag with me today. There was a small mishap with my son making the bag, but I covered it as best I can. I usually give my son the bags when I'm done with them, and he gets a little artistic freedom, and he thought I was done already, and he decided to have some artistic freedom. So I had to cover it up really quick. So this bag was super fun, super quick, really blank canvas. I am really excited to see the different kinds of things that Alex does with this. So with that said, I can't wait to see all of your makes out in the wild. So make sure you're tagging K&A Custom Fabrics and your girl Nefarious Magic Cat so we can see them too. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe below. And with that, I'll see you around, so ta-ta.